Hi, I want to talk a little bit about some tips to stay calm when your child misbehaves. This can be a really hard thing to do. And we know as parents, we frequently communicate displeasure with our kids, and there's nothing wrong with expressing anger. In fact, anger is a form of communication. And when we're in our fight, flight, or freeze state, we're actually unable to properly express the information we want to express. And what we're doing in this mode is we're fighting, we're in fight mode. And our child is the adversary here. So as a result, we interpret the message as defeat the enemy, which is our child. And we don't want to be doing that. So when your child acts out, we've got to remember they're communicating that they need our help, even if it's challenging. And this is especially true when it keeps happening, when we're finding our kids endlessly challenging. And when this is happening, there's some things that are just simple things that we can do to change this. We might need to bring their bedtime back. We might need to strengthen our relationship, or maybe just establish a safer environment for them to be able to cry and express their thoughts and emotions that are driving them to act out. However, we're unable to perceive or act on the message that our kid's giving us when we're really anxious. So it's really important for us to be cool and collected and to actually find ways to resolve the difficulties rather than escalating it and falling into that escalation trap with our kids. So some of the things that we need to do is really notice when we're getting annoyed. Sometimes we don't realize that we've crossed that line until it's too late. But what we might notice is that our anger grows, and we get quite stuck. So our anger tends to grow when we're nagging in our kids, when we're going over and over the same thing. And if we say unkind things, I hear parents say, "Oh, I called him an ungrateful brat." But it's actually really possible to prevent the firestorm once you begin to really be aware of what's happening in your body. So as soon as you detect your negative thoughts about your child, stop. Drop what you're doing and take that deep breath and just try to calm yourself. And remember that stop, breathe, respond technique I've talked about previously. Even if you're already down the wrong track and you start ranting, just stop, take a pause, refrain from saying anything, don't feel ashamed. That's okay. You're showing appropriate anger management skills here. Keep your embarrassment for when you're experiencing your own temper tantrum. You're cutting this off. You're remembering that if I don't have something nice to say, then I'm not going to say nothing at all. Don't say anything if you don't have anything nice to say. And it's really good advice, but sometimes that can be really hard to follow through with. And I think another thing that's really good to do is to just take some time out. Don't attempt to find a compromise with kids when you're angry. Allow yourself to calm down and to refocus, to fully appreciate the significance of what's gone down, potentially your outburst, and to really then go back into your body. Notice the emotions in your body. I'm not saying swallow your anger. I'm really not. But I'm proposing that you resist the temptation to act on anger. Instead, pay attention to your body's fury. Take a minute to feel what's happening in your body. Yeah, is it in your throat? Is it in your heart? Is it in your tummy? And then just relax those parts of your body and become more aware of your body's emotional responses, because this alters what's happening for us and it starts to dissipate and reduce. This is mindful. If we simply sit with those sensations and acknowledge them with acceptance, they do shift. And then what we're doing is we're shifting our state. We're redirecting our mind to shift from the negative thoughts about our child and reminding ourselves that our child is actually behaving like a child because they are a child and they need our love when they actually behave in a way that makes us feel that they're not at all deserving of it. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to move away from our anger and we're trying to do a do-over. We want to say to your child, "I'm really sorry I got upset. and I'm really, really sorry that I lost my cool. We want to empathize with them. We want to pay attention to their feelings and understand things from their perspective. And we want to resist the need to point accusations, but look for solutions for you and your child. If your child's offended somebody, ask them to repair that relationship and begin by listening and really active listening and talking about what you're noticing with them. I can see you're really sad right now. I'm sorry I yelled. Practice is key here. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is one of the most difficult things you'll ever do in your life. So if you're the type of person who flies out of control, you're going to be training your brain to learn new ways of self-control, and it takes time and practice. But every time you refuse to act when you're angry, you're reprogramming that brain of yours so that managing your anger becomes easier and easier with time. It's okay to lose your temper from time to time, but when that's consistent, we need to compassionately pay attention to our emotions, and we need to find a way to calm ourselves down. Now, that just might be the stop, think, respond technique I talk about, and you can find more information on that in my online courses and in my books, but also on YouTube. I've put that out on YouTube too. There's going to be times where we lose it, but what we want to do is maximize points of less drama and more love. And with time, you can absolutely achieve that.